And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Talking NASCAR podcast. Back with Hitmaster in his Chase Elliott shirt. Doing good. This is episode number 70 of the Talking NASCAR podcast. A very special episode, too. We have back-to-back special ones. We get the 69th episode, and then we get the 70th episode. So that's really cool. So, Bristol is in the books. Hitmaster's got his hat on from when he went there last year. We're going to talk all about it. What a crazy couple of races it definitely was for Bristol. We've got some a little bit of silly season stuff. Not a whole lot, but a couple of things. And then at the end, we will preview Coda. So, should be all good there otherwise, but let's jump right into it. Start talking about Bristol. So the truck race first. I didn't get to see the truck race really at all. I saw like the last 2 laps. That was it.
The truck race, I watched like on a rerun, and oh my gosh, it was decent. I have to say, it was better than the Cup Series. Because, of course, you got Kyle Busch coming in, trying to take over everything and doing all of his shenanigans, but I guess for some reason something clicked in Christian X's ear and said, "Not today." Oh, yeah. It was a good race, though. There was a lot of bumping and banging. There was a lot of flapped cars that were legit in the way of all the drivers and then would not move out of the way at all. So then the leaders were like, well, I'm fucked.
Saw that a lot in Cup, too. I thought in the highlights, at least, it looked like a pretty overall tame Bristol race. Not a lot of massive spins or anything like that. I guess there was a fight at the end of the race. I think it was Nick Sanchez getting into it with somebody else. I don't know exactly what it was about, but
Nick Sanchez gets into fights with everybody. I don't know why.
There was a Thor Sport disaster when the 99 and the 98 got together. And Matt Crafton was right there with them too. So they were a lot of trouble there. A couple of their trucks wrecked out. But yeah, Christian Eckes held off a late charge from Kyle Busch to get the win. In good fashion and stuff like that. But so what from I saw, it seemed like a pretty good race, but nothing too crazy about for Bristol standards. They were talking about during the broadcast, at least in the last couple of laps, they were talking about the tires, and I was like, tire wear at Bristol? This is new. So I thought they were just like on a really long run or something like that, because they go 150 laps on a set of tires. It's quite a while, but they were alluding to what the craziness would come in the Cup Series the next day, and I got to watch the entire race here. And
I watched the entire race on YouTube when it came out the day after.
This was one of the wackier Bristol races I have ever seen. First off, there was a lead change record broken for Bristol Motor Speedway. I think the previous record was 40, and we got into the high 50s, somewhere around there, which is just insane. And that can all be alluded to tire problems.
That kind of tire problems.
Yep, you could see it at the end of the race. All the rubber, and they called the marbles and whatnot, just on the top of the track. It was bad. Like, it was really bad.
I can also remember telling Tyler at the start of me watching that, I'm like, did Clint Boyer just do a boogity?
I didn't hear that part.
I hate my life.
But knowing Clint Boyer, he probably did do it, and it was cringe. That's all I'm saying.
It was cringe. I almost just said cringe. Cringe. Clint/cringe.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we got to talk about these tires because they were really bad. Drivers were blowing tires left and right. The tire wear was just off the charts. I mean, it looked like Atlanta and Auto Club on steroids. But Bristol, nobody has really ever complained about Bristol's surface being like that rough or that hard on the tires. Even like at the night races the last couple of years with the new gen car, they haven't been that bad. Like even when we were there last September, no, a couple years ago almost now, which is crazy to think about. Like it wasn't that huge of an issue. Like yeah, the tires wore down, but they do it every track. It didn't. So it's just like, what was the big deal here? I don't think they really changed up the compound or anything.
I have a feeling it's. I don't know if it's the first time these new next gen cars are on this Bristol kind of surface in the daytime. But if it is, I think they're just getting used to like, oh, this is some day, this is some night. I don't honestly. I can't say anything because I wasn't there, but
no, I wasn't either.
I wish I.
It was a really wacky situation. Like, it's just nothing I've ever seen before. It was like they were getting really worried about running out of tires and stuff like that, and there were just lots of tire problems that were going throughout the race. And there were like green flag pit stops. You know, usually see that at Bristol. That kind of thing. But we had some spotlights in there. First off, let's talk about Josh Berry finally getting a good run in 2024. Started second, led laps. He was up front for most of the day and was on track for a top 5 finish until, of course, the 120 millionth tire issue happened late in the race. I think he finished like 16th or something like that. He might have rallied for a top 10. I don't remember, but still a really good run for him overall.
It's actually his home track.
Good for him, getting a good run.
And what's weird is, again, they brought up the thing that they do with NFL nowadays. He goes, Josh Berry is trying to become the second best ever Tennessee-born person, and it wasn't about racing, by the way. Second born Tennessee person. And they go, who's the first? And the guy goes, Taylor Swift. Like, well, here we go again in NASCAR now. Great.
Yeah, I heard. I saw that happen. That was annoying. I didn't like that at all. But
she's not first. She is far from first. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about NASCAR.
Yeah, there's a really long green flag run at the end of the race. And only 5 drivers finished on the lead lap. 5. That's deplorable in this era. Like, it used to actually be quite common for only 8, 7, 5, or hell, sometimes only 2 lead lap cars. That was in like the 1970s, 1980s. This is, in a common area like this, it's just stupid that they have only 5 drivers because of how bad the tire situation was. People were blowing tires, hitting the wall, having to pit all the time, and it just, nobody could compete.
It's like you're playing a NASCAR game and legit you put it to more wear instead of less wear on tires.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what this race was if you raced it at Bristol or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just
right.
Wear.
No, I agree. No, it was definitely that. But out of all the chaos, out of the trials, tribulations, Denny Hamlin, who started in 3rd and was really the best car the entire day when he didn't blow a tire, was able to hold off the field, including a late charge from Martin Truex because of some lap traffic that Hamlin got caught in. But they were able to get past that. Hamlin pulled away and got the win, his first points-paying win of 2024, but his second win if you include his win at the Clash back in February. So he's already in the New Year's Eve Spectacular because of that. but he gets a win to get into the playoffs now. And it was good for me because in the morning, we had originally picked Chris Buescher for our fantasy league, and then I realized Chris Buescher was starting 34th. So I was like, okay, we got to change our driver up. How about we pick Denny Hamlin? And he ends up winning the race. Yay! I got a win in fantasy. Woohoo! I'm not bad at fantasy. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Due to the other
4 races.
So happy about that. But Buescher finished 7th, so like it wouldn't have been a bad pick for Buescher, I guess, either. But Kyle Larson made some comments about the race afterwards, as did a bunch of other drivers. Larson said it was one of the worst races he's ever ran, and he doesn't ever want to run it again. NASCAR came out and said that they're investigating the tire problems. And then Goodyear, obviously the makers of the tires, came out and made a statement themselves. And we're going to read what his response was now.
Can't wait to hear what they have to say.
So here, let's see. Here's this is from Goodyear's director of racing, Greg Stucker. Yesterday was a drastic departure from what we expected. The goal now is to just try to figure out why that happened, but I think we're approaching it really positively. There's 2 it's in there. And then here's the thing. They're like, oh, this is so good. This is exactly what we wanted. Because fans are like praising this race, right? And I'm all for like tire strategy and everything like that. Like every race doesn't need to be a demolition derby. But when there's only 5 lead lap cars in a race in 2024, I think we have to make some talk about that, okay? It should come down to the drivers, the drivers themselves. It should come down to pure skill, pure speed, and that kind of stuff, or even like the pit crews, their athleticism, and everything like that, to make the race good. Hell, even some Rex throws it in and makes it a thrilling finish at least. But not when everybody's blowing a tire after 10 laps. Like that's not what we should have. I didn't like this race. It was one of the worst Bristol races I've ever seen in my life, to be honest with you. And I really can't, and like most times when I call upon like this track, like really wearing down on tires, like Daytona back in like 2010 when the track came up twice during the Daytona 500 and made it a really long race, I was like, okay, the track needs to be repaved. And they repaved it. Atlanta, drivers are blowing tires after like 20 laps, and so like, okay, it needs to be repaved, and they repaved it and did some other things to it that we have already talked about, such as making it a super speedway. Auto Club, another track that was very wearing down. They tore the track down completely and are reconfiguring it, just like they did Atlanta, but they're making it a short track or selling the property. Nobody knows yet. And that was that response to that. So I guess now, what do you do with Bristol? Like, is it more on the tires? Is it more on the track surface itself? Personally, I think it's more on the tires. Because, like, people have been talking about, this did not happen in September last year. This did not happen in 2022. This did not happen with the previous car. I mean, like, this is completely out of nowhere, and nobody knows why this happened. And I definitely think it's something, and it's all a part of, Goodyear's, like, bad tires, and people have been going on Goodyear for a long time. Back, like, 2008, Tony Stewart was ripping apart on them, too. Even back in, like, the 90s, and their war with Hoosier. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what plays out here, especially because they go back there in September for the playoffs. And I'm sure NASCAR does not want this situation happening in a cutoff race in the playoffs later this season. So, yeah. So that's kind of my take on it. It's all on the tires. I think the tires were terrible, and it made for a really both climatic and anticlimactic racing product. Because one, you didn't know when the next guy was going to blow a tire, so you can never figure out who was going to really run away with the race. Nobody really could. But second, it wasn't really up to the drivers. It was just a matter of time before the tire blew out. So it's like, what do you do? I don't know what you want to say about that, but
there is nothing to say about it. It's stupid, and I mean, I get it. You are trying to put a new package into the track and all that, trying to make things where the new car can handle it and all that. But as you can tell, and as from the picture, you can tell the cars could handle it, the tires couldn't. So now you need to figure out tires need to start working. But I think it's mainly because so used to dirt for 3 straight years, they thought they were gonna put on for another year. Say, oh yay, we're gonna do dirt race, yay, and try to, do all that. But I mean, I don't know. It's not. It is a little bit of NASCAR's fault, but I think mostly it's not only the track but Goodyear. Goodyear needs to fix their shit.
And that's another thing I wanted to touch on. Like, this was the first real chance that we could see the new short track package, and we still really didn't get to see it because it was all about the tires. So now we gotta wait again for. I think the next one's Martinsville.
I thought the first short track package was Phoenix.
Yeah, but that's not really a short track, and so in Phoenix wasn't like one of the tracks that was desperately needing a package change. That was going to be Bristol, Martinsville, and Richmond. Bristol, we can't really tell yet. Richmond, I think Martinsville's coming up next. That one's the one that most desperately needed it, so I guess we'll have to wait a little bit, but. So.
I mean, yeah, if I'm telling you right now, if Martinsville, if I see frickin' what that picture showed on Martinsville, then it's definitely both NASCAR and Goodyear that need to get their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in all, because we thought going into this race, oh, we've had 4 good races this year. We've had 4 good races, back and forth races. And then this. It's like NASCAR legit said, here, have some good races. And then the 5th race, here, take this shit. We call it a race. And shove it down your throat.
It's all part of being the fan. You can't always have what you want, but
that's what we want, though.
Right. You can't always have it. That's what NASCAR's telling us. So.
This off. This hurts my forehead.
Well, good timing because we're pretty much done talking about Bristol. So, but that's gonna do it for that part. So Bristol's close it up. We'll see you in September. Hopefully things are fixed. Anyway,
if things aren't fixed, then Bristol's gonna go downhill like it usually does.
So anyway, I only have like 3 pieces of news. One of them, Daniel, it's a foreign name, Daniel Kvyat. He's going to run the Xfinity Coda race. I think he ran a race last year. I think it was also Xfinity. I think it was also Coda. But fans are pretty excited that he's coming back in hopes that he will have a better run than he did last year. Also in the Xfinity Series, Matt DiBenedetto is coming back to the Xfinity Series for Viking Motorsports. He will run multiple races for them this season. So that should be interesting to watch as that further develops. Maybe his path towards the Cup Series will continue, and maybe he'll get a good chance at it. And then the only other real piece of news was our first real big throwback paint scheme announcement today. Hitmaster's seen it too.
That's why I'm wearing it. It's a Chase Elliott throwback scheme, and it's also one of my favorite schemes. I'm gonna have to get a die cast of it. So my die casts that are right across from me, you're gonna have a friend here when it comes out. Because let me be honest with you, I have a picture of it. Unless you have a picture of it.
I can pull up a picture. I'm doing it right now. It's a throwback to Dale Jr. Actually, you can show it if you've got it pulled up. I don't have it pulled up.
So it's. And I was watching the video of it too, and Junior's like, it's weird because UniFirst is green and white, normal colors of a UniFirst car. But since it was a throwback, I mean, like I don't know if you can see it that well because of the white. I'm gonna have to turn it down. Maybe you can pull it up.
It's a Dale Jr.
Okay, I fixed it. So you can barely see it, but it's decent. It's a decent paint scheme. Maybe put it down just a little bit more.
It's a throwback to.
Again, there it is, right there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Better images. Oh, mine's even worse. Okay.
It's the white that's brightening it up.
Yeah, it's a throwback to Dale Jr.'s 2014 primary car. He ran with National Guard. Won the Daytona 500 with that car. I've got his Daytona 500 race win diecast in my room right now. Shown it off here multiple times. Now I gotta say, with this paint scheme, it's a cool throwback. I don't know if it's because I watched that paint scheme week after week in 2014. I remember watching it. Doesn't really feel like much of a throwback to me for 10 years ago now.
My friend legit loved that car. It's the same friend that raced at Corrigan Oil. His dad had enough money to get him his first car, but he wanted a second one, just for paint scheme wise or something like that. This dude legit made his number 88 for one race, and it was that paint scheme. And it looked beautiful just looking at it. Even though it wasn't the actual car, just looking at it looked so beautiful. When it was at night, because they did a night race, the glare and everything, he finished last because he wrecked out, so the car just got destroyed. But either way, it was still beautiful, even wrecked.
I mean, I like the paint scheme and everything, but without the National Guard branding, it looks a little weird to me. The UniFirst branding, obviously they can't. Obviously, they're not going to put National Guard back on the car, but
You would think National Guard would just come back for one race.
Guess not. I guess they wouldn't. So it looks a little weird. I mean, they did what they could. I mean, it could be a lot worse. It's not terrible by any means. I definitely respect it, and it just feels weird having a paint scheme that I watched for every week almost being a throwback now. It just makes me feel old. Makes me feel very old. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, it'll be a cool one. I don't think I'll get it as a diecast when it comes out, but.
By the way, NASCAR, I just want to let you guys know, me and Tyler are doing the best and reminding you. I know you guys don't watch our podcast, but
Can you please Max Bowman Detroit Pistons car? We have been waiting forever, and you guys have lied to us.
Yeah, where the hell is that thing? I want to buy it.
I bet you someone has custom made it.
Where? Where is somebody custom made the damn thing? I want it.
I like how we're both looking it up now.
I'm also looking for that Michigan State car from a couple years ago at Michigan.
I'm also, the two other ones I'm looking at are Alex Bowman's 88 in University of Michigan car, and I'm looking for this one. I don't know if you can see it. That one, that's a Michigan one.
Ugh.
And then I'm also looking for the one that I saw last year, only for a tiny bit. swear to God. Shopping. I'm going to look up on shopping. Let's see if somebody...
Well, this is all I could find. This is all I can find. It's a template. It's got stickers, and you buy the stickers, and then you put it on like a blank die cast. I don't think that really counts.
I know, but I mean, just get some white out and frickin' pop that bitch up.
But yeah, I have no clue where this is. Like the Pistons must have been like, hey, you can't make a die cast of this, or there was like licensing problems or something.
I'm looking at it right now, and I don't see any.
But oh well. Oh well. It's whatever, I guess. I mean, it's not a big old deal. So.
Maybe I need to get the Jimmy Johnson diecast of Alex Bowman, Jimmy Johnson.
What are you talking about? Oh, the throwback? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
One of his cars. Now that, I have to say, I don't know if Elliot... Did Elliot race in a Jimmy Johnson throwback?
They all did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was at Darlington. I'm dumb. I thought it... To be honest, in my mind, I thought it was at Phoenix, and then I thought he won with Jimmy Johnson's car and won the championship with Jimmy Johnson's, like, paint-schemed car. So that's what I thought in my head, but it wasn't. So, I was wrong.
Damn. Well, that's really all the news that I had for this week.
There is one for Corgan Oil. And that is July 5th. I can find it again because for some reason I exited out of that. The National Compact Touring Series Challenge. Let me read that off again, and I want people to listen to this closely because whoever named this is stupid. The National Compact Touring Series Challenge Series. Tongue twister, but okay. July 5th, their second race of the season will be at Corgan Oil Speedway. So,
I saw that too. I saw that on their Facebook page. They're stopping at 4 different tracks. One of them is Corgan Oil. There's another one. Another one that is on our hit list for the season. We were already going to go to. That's the Owasso Speedway, and then
on their website, it shows that they're going to Kalamazoo Speedway.
Oh, I saw on Facebook. They're doing Corgan Oil, Owasso Speedway. They're doing Toledo Speedway as well, and they're doing Flat Rock and Toledo Speedway. And then they're doing another track in Ohio called Midvale Speedway. So,
Flat Rock Speedway. It is in Monroe County. I've never been to Flat Rock.
we're going to Toledo Speedway as well because we're going to try and go to the ARCA finale when they go there in October. We're going to Owasso. I think we have that planned for July. So,
I'm telling you, if we do, I will live stream us being at the race, and I will make sure we do a podcast after the fact or before.
well, I plan on talking about the track experiences on the podcast, but we got to go to them first. Like, it's, so.
I mean, you guys have heard us blabbering about Corgan Oil Speedway, so you guys know what Corgan Oil Speedway looks like and everything. I don't think we've talked about actually the big white thing. I that's near the track.
The big wipe.
It's a big white, like, what is it? Hold on. Let me get Google Maps, because Google Maps perfect with this.
We don't need to be talking about toilet adventures here on the Talking NASCAR podcast.
No,
Hitmaster.
no, it's not a toilet thing.
The big
So,
wipe.
If you look here, there's that little, if you look, turn 4, that thing right there. That thing has not been destroyed or moved, but they never use it. They never freaking use it. And I can remember one time, I was a kid, and no, this isn't a weird person coming up to me and wanting me to go in their truck for candy. But anyways, I went in there, and, you know, I was playing hide and seek with my sister, trying to hide all around and stuff like that, and I got stung by a wasp. There was a wasp nest in there. Good thing I ran out when I did. So everyone in turn 4 seats had to leave that spot because I, the little dumbass 5-year-old kid that I was, decided to fuck around and found out.
Hey, at least nobody died from it or anything, but
Sure hope not.
that's
Anyone
weird.
that's watching out there and was at that race when that happened, I'm so sorry. It is my fault because I'm a stupid idiot, not thinking that, oh, I need to be more smart, but I'm too dumb. But anyway, so continuing on.
That's an interesting story. Interesting story indeed. But yeah, so it's cool that they're getting like a cool racing series, and that being right near the 4th of July as well. It's going to be hopefully a good attendance grabber. And just speaking about their Facebook page in general, I don't really go on Facebook that much, but I do follow them on Facebook, and they're pretty active on Facebook. They like to go around, and they're doing cool stuff with like a lot of the more legacy drivers that come there during the season, visiting like their race shops and everything like that, and also just being interactive with the fans and stuff like that. So it seems like these new owners are really taking a lot of pride in the Speedway and are boosting the social media presence, and I think they're trying to even fix the website up a little bit too, which is really, really good because the website is not that great. At least it wasn't that great. If they're fixing it now, then it will be hopefully better. So that's really, really good. Maybe one day they'll go through with my hypothetical expansion and renovation plan to turn it into a semi-usable facility for maybe some lower level NASCAR events, aka the ARCA series. But probably not. It's pretty expensive, so. But who knows? Maybe they will. Contact me.
I feel like if they were going to do that, they would have to take all those boards out in the back area, like on the back stretch, and then put seats in there.
Did I ever talk about my hypothetical expansion plan? I feel like I just assumed I did.
And now, I would like to introduce to you Tyler's expansion plan of Corrigan Oil Speedway.
So where's a good picture of the track? Okay, so here it is, right? So this is how the track looks right now. Oh, God. So here's what I'm thinking. So you got the main grandstands, right? We keep the main grandstands how they are, but you tear down the turn 4 grandstands, which are, this is going to be really bad. No, shit.
Here, hold on. You continue talking, and then I will show it. There.
Okay, so see, shit, this is gonna be really bad. I can't. So the turn 4 grandstands, right? Get rid of those. Yep, get rid of those and replace them with ones that look like the turn 4 grandstands. You know, not the wooden ones. You know, maybe be a little bit safer for fans. You do the same thing for the turn 1 family grandstands as well. And then you also put up you tear down the billboards, or at least take them down. You don't tear them down, you take them down. You put identical grandstands to the same capacity as the front stretch on the backstretch. You put the billboards on top of the backstretch grandstands to keep the advertising. And then you do a little bit of expansion. You make the turn 3 grandstands go to the same height as the front stretch grandstands and the backstretch one. You connect the turn 4 to the front stretch, and then you make it go all the way around to where the scoreboard is. You make the backstretch ones go to the scoreboard all the way to the pit exit. You make a gap at the pit exit. And then you get the turn 1 ones, right? You go all the way between the pit exits, and then there's still a gap at the pit exit, and then boom. And then you have plenty of seats, right? You get another renovated facilities, like more food, more bathrooms, all this stuff, maybe an updated gift shop or something like that, right? And then you have a nice seating capacity, and then you can bring in an ARCA race, okay? It's foolproof. They just don't do anything about it. That's why I want to buy the damn track and do it myself.
Or, connect the exit of turn 2 to the front stretch. That could be something. What I'm saying is, at the start of the turn 2... Okay, we're talking about this now. Start of that turn, right when you're exiting an stretch. You start there, and you put grandstands all the way around front stretch ish of where it ends, because then you have more people that can sit and watch the backstretch, because some people actually like to watch the backstretch races.
I'd sit over there. There's
more happening in the backstretch than there is in the front stretch.
Right. I'm just saying, they have plenty of possible area to expand to make it a larger facility, more updated facility, maybe some rebranding and stuff like that. It might happen. Not right now, but I might purchase
then
it.
Again, they might have to cut down some trees and then figure out what happens, because there is a little lake behind the track.
Yeah. Well, see, that would all get figured out later on in logistics planning and whatnot.
But then again, they have so much dirt from the monster trucks that they could just...
Right. So that's just my hypothetical plan. If anybody from Corrigan Oil Speedway is watching this video and wants to give me royalties for this plan, call me up. I'll do it. We'll talk. Anyway, that's all I had.
Alright, yeah, that's all I had to be honest.
So now we got to talk about COTA.
Damn it.
So Trucks, Xfinity, and the Cup Series are all in action this weekend at COTA. So why?
So I don't hate the race. It's that you get drivers, and it's not a bad thing. You get drivers that know how to race the freaking track, that are racing in this race, and then you're like, well, what are you gonna do? My favorite driver's not gonna win the race, and then when the other person does win the race, they had to be in the full season to be a part of the playoffs. That's what happened with Shane Van Gisbergen. I feel like if you win a race at a track that you're coming into, you should immediately be able to be in the playoffs no matter what.
See, that's where you're wrong. I disagree with you on that one.
So Shane Van Gisbergen should have been in the playoffs last year. Yeah, he would have gotten knocked out in the first round, but or at least after he won at the Chicago Street Course, he raced the next races to get points. But that didn't happen.
I don't know. I mean, they have the requirements so that, a driver can't just race one race and then get into the playoffs and then you know, when everybody else has to fight for the entire season. That's the whole point of it.
See, that's the thing. They did that with Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch got injured at the beginning of the year, and then halfway through the year, he won races, and then he got.
Well, that's because the requirement is you have to be top 30 in points, or top 35 in points to get it. You don't have to run the full schedule. You have to be just have to, like, top 30 in points. Because the same thing happened for Tony Stewart in 2016.
That's what I meant.
He missed part of the season, but he got into top 30, and then he was locked into the playoffs after that.
If Shane Van Gisbergen, since he won at Chicago, he could have raced the other races, see if he got into the top 30, and if he didn't, he's not in the playoffs. Congratulations on your win, but you're not in the playoffs. But at least race the other freaking races. But people don't have the fucking guts. I'm not gonna say the other one. They don't have the guts to do it.
I mean, with Van Gisbergen, it's like, he's a sprint car racer too and whatnot. So, you know, so you can't do the full thing. You know, that's the thing. But oh well. Anyway.
What series?
I gotta pull up who I can even choose for my winner.
I know who I'm picking.
All right, say it.
I'm picking the guy that's driving the 04 truck this week at Circuit of the Americas for Roper Racing, Marco Andretti.
Interesting choice for sure.
Marco. Polo.
True. I'm going to go K Honeycutt. Number 45 truck, baby. That's who I'm going to pick. He got a 12th place finish at Bristol. So.
K Honeycutt. Which one are you looking at? Because I'm seeing Ross Chastain in the 45 truck.
What? What? Fine. I'll pick somebody else.
No, you could pick him. I just see Ross Chastain in the 45.
I'm looking at the results from the Bristol race. God damn it. That's probably why.
Just go to are you on the NASCAR app?
No. I'll pick Matt Crafton then. I'll pick Matt Crafton.
Matt Crafton's not bad of a road course rider.
Alright, Xfinity Series. Who do we got this weekend?
Who the frick is R.C. Anderson? Are you? There's a guy named R.C. Anderson. Like the legit letters of his first name, R.C. I'm going with Shane Van Gisbergen.
Same.
SVG, how Tyler says it, but I say it correctly, so it's Shane Van Gisbergen.
I don't see that! Screw you! Alright, anyway. Cup Series.
Cup Series. I'm just going to look at the stuff here.
No chips?
Shane Van Gisbergen is yeah, we're doing chips. Shane Van Gisbergen is racing this race too.
Ooh.
I just want to look at all the people that are racing.
Ooh.
Kamui? Kabaguchi? What the fuck? I can't read that. I'm just gonna go away from that. Who else that we should know? AJ Allmendinger's racing a car, but he's racing number 13.
Oh, AJ Allmendinger's racing?
Yeah, shocking.
In the 13.
Right, so last week we found out that Bubba Wallace did not do the job for us, or for Tyler, and Chase Briscoe did for me. Thank God. Now, let's see. I'm just gonna do Tyler's first. I'm gonna do the winners first, but we're gonna do Tyler's. Bam. You got Blaney.
Not bad. I'll take it. Not bad. I'll take it. Pringleton's gonna take the victory. Woo woo.
Depending on who I get.
Oh.
And bam. Kyle Busch.
Also not a bad pick.
So we have the first time ever we don't pick a person that, you know, sucks.
Hmm.
That's the first.
Interesting.
Also, I'm looking at the paint schemes for Shikoda. Not bad.
Oh, they're gonna be good. Anyway, it's really all we had for this week's episode of the Talking NASCAR podcast. So we're gonna wrap it up here. If you'd like to be a guest on the Talking NASCAR podcast, all you gotta do is join the Pringles and the Company Discord. Link is in the description down below. Request the Talking NASCAR rule. We'll get it to you, and we'll schedule a time to get you on. But otherwise, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for much more amazing content from both me and Hitmaster, including our March Madness brackets. We both have them uploaded now, so it's going to be a lot
I
of
just
good.
live streamed it like right before this, like 10 minutes I finished.
So,
And then here.
otherwise, though, that's going to do it for this video. So stay tuned again, and until next time, we will see you guys later. Goodbye.